For years, fans believed they understood the story of Lauryn Pumpkin Efird, the outspoken, fiercely devoted sister, mother, and reality star who grew up before America's eyes. Her life has unfolded across dozens of episodes, countless social media updates, and more public ups and downs than most families ever experience. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared the world for the fictional revelation she dropped in the spring of 2025. In a stunning twist that shook social media, fractured the Mama June fandom, and set off one of the most explosive news cycles in the franchise's history, Pumpkin revealed on camera that she had a firstborn son almost 7 years earlier, a child she had kept hidden, protected, and off the radar completely. An even bigger revelation followed. The father she claimed in this fictional narrative was not her husband Josh Efird, but a former boyfriend, Darrin Kitchens. The revelation detonated across the online world like a supernova. Within hours, millions of fans flooded comment sections. Reaction videos exploded across TikTok and YouTube. Tabloids began running speculative headlines. The network scrambled to re-edit an entire season. And Darrin Kitchens himself, the quiet, rarely seen figure from Pumpkin's past, suddenly became the most Googled name connected to the Mama June universe. What unfolded next in this fictional universe was a tangle of emotions, family conflict, private heartbreak, and an extraordinary moment of truth that changed the Shannon, Efird family forever. This is the fictional story of how it all happened. Rumors had swirled for weeks. A cryptic message from a production assistant. A blurry screenshot of Pumpkin filming a tense interview. An anonymous comment claiming a major paternity twist. And most suspicious of all, Darrin Kitchens was spotted fictionally near Pumpkin's filming location for the first time in nearly a decade. At first, fans dismissed it. After all, the Mama June fandom was notorious for taking tiny details and turning them into massive conspiracy theories. But then the network released a mysterious teaser trailer. No dialogue, no narration, just Pumpkin sitting alone on a couch, eyes red, fingers trembling in her lap. A voice asked off camera, "Are you ready to tell them?" Pumpkin nodded slowly, her chest rising and falling with a deep breath. "I'm done hiding," she whispered. "It's time." The teaser ended. The internet exploded. No one knew what she was referring to, a health issue, a marriage crisis, a financial disaster. But the truth was far more shocking. Before Josh, before marriage, before 4 kids, there was someone else. In this fictional expanded universe, Darrin Kitchens was Pumpkin's first serious relationship. A quiet, thoughtful, musically talented boy with a shy smile and a complicated home life. They met in high school, connected instantly, stayed up late sharing dreams and fears. Friends recalled a deep, emotional bond. But Darrin struggled. Money was tight. His family life was unstable. And he battled bouts of depression he never talked about openly. Pumpkin, still a teenager herself, tried to carry more weight than she should have. Some nights they were inseparable. Other nights he disappeared into silence. Their relationship burned intensely, then suddenly extinguished. Pumpkin rarely spoke about him afterward. According to Pumpkin's on-camera confession, fictional, she discovered she was pregnant just 3 weeks after she and Darrin split. She was only 16. She didn't tell producers. She didn't tell the network. She didn't even tell Mama June, at least not at first. In this fictional version of events, Alana was the only one who knew. Pumpkin cried as she described that moment in the episode. "I wasn't scared of being a mom. I was scared of everyone watching." Darrin, when she finally told him, was torn. He wanted to be there. He loved her. But his life was unraveling, fast. Family issues forced him out of state. He struggled to keep a job. He battled depression without help. Pumpkin faced a brutal choice. Raise the child quietly, or thrust a newborn into a reality TV circus. She chose privacy. She told producers she needed time off for school commitments. Filming adjusted. Her pregnancy went unnoticed by the public. She delivered a healthy baby boy in the fall of that year. And then, to protect him, she made a decision she would spend years agonizing over. She arranged for a close, trusted relative who lived away from the cameras to care for him temporarily while Pumpkin finished school and stabilized her life. The plan was always to bring him back. But life got complicated. Pumpkin admitted that every year she postponed telling the truth. The confession became harder. Then she met Josh, got married, had 4 children, took custody of Alana, filmed multiple seasons, juggled responsibility after responsibility. Where could she fit such a world-shaking truth? She said on camera, "I didn't want my son growing up feeling like a storyline. I wanted him to feel like a person." But beneath the protection was guilt, a constant ache, a fear that one day he would ask, "Why didn't you fight harder for me?" In this fictional narrative, Darrin returned to Georgia in early 2025 for a heartbreaking reason. A close family member had passed away. When he reached out to Pumpkin for the first time in years, she felt the ground shift beneath her feet. He asked about their son, asked how he was doing, asked if he could see him. Pumpkin broke down. The emotional floodgates opened. She realized she couldn't keep living in 2 worlds, the public one and the private one. And so she made the decision that changed everything. She would tell the truth. To Josh, to her mother, to her siblings, and, hardest of all, to the world. The episode aired on a Sunday night. The network promoted it like a season finale. Pumpkin sat on a couch, tissues in hand, cameras circling her like satellites. She took a breath, wiped tears, and began. In a revelation that has shattered the reality TV landscape and left the Here Comes Honey Boo Boo fanbase reeling, Lauryn Pumpkin, Efird has publicly confirmed rumors that have circulated in the darkest corners of the internet for a decade. In an emotional, tear-filled sit-down interview released this morning, the 25-year-old mother of 4 revealed she is actually a mother of 5. Pumpkin, known for holding the Shannon family together through addiction, arrests, and chaos, dropped the bombshell that she shares a firstborn son with her ex-fiancé, Darrin Kitchens, a child kept hidden from the cameras, the public, and even members of her own family for years. Here is the full story of the lie, the cover-up, and the explosive truth. It began on a Tuesday night. It was supposed to be a standard TikTok live sale, with Pumpkin promoting merchandise and chatting with fans alongside her sister, Alana, Honey Boo Boo Thompson. But the atmosphere shifted when a comment from a user named DK_1996 appeared on the screen. "Tell them about the boy, Lauryn. Tell them about Caleb." Witnesses say Pumpkin froze. The color drained from her face. Alana, confused, tried to laugh it off as a troll, but Lauryn ended the stream abruptly, leaving 12,000 viewers staring at a blank screen. 12 hours later, a press release was issued, followed by an exclusive video uploaded to her social media channels. "For 10 years, I have carried a weight that no one knew about," Lauryn said, staring directly into the camera, her eyes swollen. "Before Josh, before Ella, before the twins, there was a baby. My first baby." To understand the bombshell, we must rewind to 2015. Lauryn was a teenager, newly engaged to Darrin Kitchens. The relationship was featured briefly on reality TV before dissolving. At the time, the narrative was that they simply drifted apart due to Pumpkin's chaotic family life and Mama June's interference. However, the new revelation paints a darker picture. According to Pumpkin's confession, she discovered she was pregnant shortly after her 16th birthday. Terrified of the public scrutiny that had destroyed her childhood and fearing the wrath of her mother, June Shannon, Lauryn and Darrin made a pact. "We were kids," Pumpkin explained. "We didn't have money. We didn't have a home. My mom was spiraling. I knew if the cameras found out, that baby would become a storyline. I didn't want him to be a prop." The lost months where Pumpkin seemingly disappeared from social media in late 2015 were not, as fans suspected, due to teenage rebellion. She was reportedly staying with Darrin's distant relatives in rural Alabama, hiding a pregnancy that would have been tabloid gold. The child, a boy named Caleb, was born in secret. In a move that Pumpkin describes as the hardest decision of my life, she and Darrin agreed that Darrin's mother would take legal guardianship of the child to raise him away from the spotlight, while Pumpkin returned to Georgia to resume her role as the responsible sister in the Shannon household. "I signed the papers, I kissed his forehead, and I walked away," Pumpkin admitted, breaking down. "I thought I was saving him from the Honey Boo Boo curse." For years, the arrangement held. Darrin Kitchens faded into obscurity, and Pumpkin built a new life with Josh Efird. When she became pregnant with Ella, She claims the guilt nearly destroyed her. Every time I held Ella, I thought about the son I left behind. Sources close to the family suggest the silence was broken not by Pumpkin, but by Darrin Kitchens. Now 28, Kitchens allegedly gave Pumpkin an ultimatum. Integrate Caleb into the family, or I go to the press. The boy, now 9 years old, had reportedly begun asking questions about his biological mother, whom he saw constantly on TikTok and reality television. Darrin wasn't doing it for money. A source close to Kitchens told reporters. He was doing it for his son. The kid sees his siblings, Ella, Bentley, the twins, living this life with his mom, and he's kept a secret? It wasn't fair anymore. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of the revelation is the position of Josh Efird, Pumpkin's husband of 7 years. Sources indicate that Josh was not aware of the child until 3 months ago. Josh feels betrayed, an insider revealed. He loves Lauryn, and he stepped up as a father to Alana. But to find out his wife has a 9-year-old son she never mentioned? It's rocked their marriage to the core. In the confession video, Josh is notably absent. However, paparazzi captured photos of him earlier today walking out of their Georgia home, looking visibly strained, but wearing his wedding ring. No Shannon family drama is complete without the matriarch. June Shannon, who has been estranged and then reconciled with her daughters multiple times, reportedly claimed to have no idea about the baby. However, Pumpkin's narrative contradicts this. My mom knew, Pumpkin said firmly. She told me to get rid of it. She told me it would ruin the brand. She was the one who drove me to Alabama. If true, this allegation adds another layer of villainy to June Shannon's public perception, suggesting she orchestrated the concealment of her own grandson to protect television ratings. As of this evening, the internet is divided. Fans are flooding Pumpkin's comments with a mix of support and outrage. You did what you had to do to protect him, one user wrote. How could you hide a whole human being from your husband? Countered another. Legal experts suggest that reintegrating Caleb into the Efird household will be a nightmare of custody battles and psychological adjustments. Reality TV producers are reportedly already scrambling to secure the rights to the reunion special, though Pumpkin has stated she wants Caleb to remain off camera for now. I am a mother of 5, Pumpkin concluded in her video. I made mistakes. I lied to protect people. But I am done hiding. Caleb is my son and he is coming home. In the world of reality television, silence is rarely golden, it's suspicious. For the past 6 months, Lauryn Pumpkin Efird, the once candid matriarch of the Shannon family, went dark. Her TikTok lives became sporadic. Her Instagram photos were cropped strategically above the chest. She wore oversized hoodies in the Georgia summer heat. Fans whispered, Reddit sleuths theorized, but the truth remained hidden behind the walls of her private life. In a revelation that has shattered the reality TV landscape, Lauryn, 25, has confirmed what many suspected, but none could prove. She has welcomed a baby boy with her boyfriend, Darrin Kitchens. The child, born in total secrecy, is the couple's first together, and the bombshell introduction of this innocent infant has unleashed a torrent of drama that makes Here Comes Honey Boo Boo look like a fairy tale. This is the untold story of the year. The secret, the son, and the scandal. To understand the magnitude of this reveal, we must rewind to May 2025. Lauryn's divorce from Josh Efird, her husband of 6 years and father of her 4 eldest children, Ella, Bentley, Silas, and Stella, was finalizing. It was messy. It was public. Tabloids were feasting on the details of custody arrangements and the revelation that Pumpkin was dating Darrin Kitchens, who, in a twist fit for a soap opera, is Josh Efird's cousin by marriage. Then, abruptly, the noise stopped. Pumpkin, known for monetizing every aspect of her life, pulled back. It wasn't just a break, says a source close to production on Mama June. Family crisis. She went underground. Production was told she was taking a mental health hiatus, but we all noticed the changes. She stopped filming full-body shots. She wouldn't travel. Behind the scenes, a different reality was unfolding. Sources confirm that by early spring, Pumpkin was already expecting. Terrified of the public backlash regarding her swift move from Josh to Darrin, and desperate to protect her new relationship from the reality TV curse, she made a decision that defied the Shannon family code. she chose privacy. She looked at Darrin and said, "This one is ours," says a family insider. She didn't want the comments. She didn't want the judgment. She wanted to be a mom first and a reality star second. The baby, a son, was reportedly born in mid-November at a private hospital outside Atlanta under a pseudonym. Unlike the births of her previous children, there were no camera crews in the delivery room. There was no WTV producer holding a boom mic over her contractions. According to exclusive reports, the birth was peaceful and emotional. Darrin Kitchens, a man who has been thrust into the spotlight largely as a villain in the eyes of Josh Efird supporters, was reportedly the picture of a doting father. Darrin cried the moment he saw him, the insider reveals. For all the hate Darrin gets online, he loves Lauryn. This baby signifies a fresh start for them, a blood bond that separates them from the tangled web of the Efird-Shannon history. The couple named the boy Kays, a name rumored but yet to be officially confirmed by Lauryn's reps, fitting the trend of short, Southern-style names favored by the family. For 2 weeks, they lived in a bubble of bliss. But in the Shannon family, secrets have a shelf life. The news broke not through a tabloid leak, but via Pumpkin herself. In a move to control the narrative, she posted a single, high-resolution photo to her social media channels yesterday. The image showed a tiny hand wrapped around Darrin's finger with a simple caption, "Life has a way of surprising you. Welcome to the world, little man. Our hearts are full." The internet broke. Within hours, the post had amassed millions of views. The comment section was a war zone of congratulations and confusion. Wait, was she pregnant? Is this Darrin's? OMG, poor Josh. Finally, she looks happy. But the real explosion wasn't in the comments. It was in the text messages flying across rural Georgia. Josh Efird, Pumpkin's ex-husband, reportedly learned of the birth only days before the public did. While he has moved on in his own life, recently welcoming a child with his new girlfriend, sources say the news of Pumpkin's secret son stung. "It's the timeline that hurts," says a source close to Josh. He's doing the math. They split, and almost immediately, she's pregnant with his cousin. It feels like he was replaced overnight. Josh is trying to be the bigger person for the sake of Ella and the kids, but it's awkward. He has to co-parent with a man who is family, who is now raising his ex-wife's new baby. Paparazzi caught Josh in Gordon, Georgia, yesterday. When asked about the news, his response was curt, "As long as the kids are safe and happy, that's all I care about. I'm focusing on my family. I told y'all she was up to something." Never one to be left out of a headline, June Shannon, Mama June, took to TikTok Live almost immediately after the announcement. In true June fashion, she made the moment about herself while simultaneously defending her daughter. "Look, I knew," June claimed, taking a drag of a cigarette. "I kept my mouth shut. Y'all say I can't keep a secret? I kept this one. That baby is beautiful. He looks just like Darrin. And for all the haters, Lauryn is grown. She pays her bills. She can have 10 babies if she wants." However, insiders suggest June is already negotiating an exclusive Meet the Grandbaby interview, causing friction with Pumpkin, who wants to keep Kays off camera for as long as possible. A family divided or united. The arrival of baby Kays marks a definitive new chapter. The Pumpkin and Josh era, which defined the post-Honey Boo Boo years, is officially dead. For the Pumpkin and Darrin era has begun with a bang. There are massive questions looming over the family. The show. Will the secret pregnancy be the plot of the next season of Family Crisis? Producers are reportedly scrambling to edit footage to build up to a reveal they missed in real time. The blended family. How will Pumpkin's 4 older children adjust? Ella, now old enough to understand the dynamics, has reportedly been very protective of her new little brother. Though confused by the sudden changes, can Darrin pivot from the cousin who broke up a marriage to devoted father and partner? This baby gives him a chance at redemption in the eyes of the audience. For now, Lauryn Efird is doing something she hasn't done in a decade. She is enjoying a private moment. "People think they know my life," Pumpkin wrote in a follow-up story this morning. "They think they own my story because they watched me grow up. But this little boy, he's the one thing I did just for me. And he is perfect,